Hello everybody and welcome to the freezing cold and rather windy port city of Kreuzlingen with Germany right behind me. Today we are going to talk about this watch, the somewhat crappy but all the more legendary Seiko SKX. First, let me address the crappy aspect of this diver, summed up in one word: movement. The Seiko 7S26 was first introduced in 1996 and has now been retired by Seiko. I think it is safe to say that nobody will shed a tear because of this. To put it mildly, it is rather utilitarian in nature and hidden behind a solid caseback for a reason. When Seiko came up with the 7S26, the goal was to construct a robust and maximally durable movement. Admittedly, they had some success, but, and that is underwhelming even for this price point, it doesn't feature any hand winding, forcing its owner to do what is known as the Seiko shuffle, giving it a good shake to wake it up from its slumber. In other words, the one thing which everybody associates with a mechanical watch, namely using its crown to wind its mainspring, just doesn't work with this one. And of course, it doesn't stop here. Not only does the SKX have to be awkwardly shaken to come alive, it doesn't feature any hacking function either. The seconds hand cannot be stopped to accurately and conveniently set the time, reducing the utility of the crown even further. Now I know, even Patek doesn't feature hacking seconds in many of their timepieces. Nevertheless, it is a feature that abounds in the vast majority of watches, even in the most affordable price segment. Now, given these shortcomings, and I didn't even mention its hit or miss accuracy, why then is this still considered the holy grail of affordable dive watches by many? For starters, the SKX could be had for under $200 at one point, which, given the escalating prices of today's luxury market, has to be considered a relative bargain. After Seiko has ceased production in 2019, prices have shot up considerably. Nevertheless, it was and still is an accessible item for most. And it does offer something for the price. First, the SKX is a true certified dive watch, meeting and sometimes exceeding the official ISO standards. Afforded by its case, crystal and screw-down crown, it boasts a solid 200 meters of water resistance. One could fly above the Lake of Constance, drop the watch out of a helicopter and let it sink all the way down to the bottom of the lake. With the lake measuring 250 meters at its deepest and Seiko being known for testing beyond the official rating, the SKX would likely be able to withstand the immense pressure and could be rescued again. What's more, indices and hands are equipped with its own in-house luminous material. This would allow a diver to read the watch in even the darkest abyss of the ocean. In everyday use, it glows like a torch. Not only can it go toe-to-toe with much more ambitiously priced divers, it literally outshines them despite the huge price delta and maintains most of its staying power throughout the night. Then, of course, there's the imaginative design of the SKX. In a sea of submarine marshes, the SKX is quite a standout. Take, for instance, the watch's crown, or rather the curious placement at 4 rather than 3 o'clock. Clearly, Seiko wasn't just lazily imitating the design language of others. Instead, they drew on their own history, namely the 6215-7000 launched in 1967. This watch marked Seiko's second attempt at a dive watch and the first geared towards the professional dive market. As you can see, it clearly inspired the design of the SKX. Last but not least, there's the cheerful colorway of the watch, the red and blue of the bezel, a color combination that just works and reliably induces feelings of happiness and joy. For a fraction of the price of a Rolex Pepsi, I think you can get much the same effect here, without attracting the unwanted attention a Rolex would. In the end, it really comes down to this X factor, that feeling of wearing the watch, which is hard to quantify, not reducible to mere cold facts. Seen from that perspective, its technical shortcomings appear more like charming quirks, setting it further apart from the rest. As the sun sets in Kreuzlingen, the watch has survived drops, swarm attacks, and the ice-cold water of the Lake of Constance. I return with it unscathed and with a newfound appreciation for the watch.